Good day everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a review on the M1139. A tank that I originally thought I was going to hate, but I ended up loving it. The tank itself is, well, it was used in World War II, right up until the armistice, I believe. It wasn't the world's greatest tank by any means. I mean, the gun, I'll explain the gun, and that will tell you why. But it wasn't really the main gun I was all interested in. It was this top turret. This top turret features two 8mm braiders with just over 1400 rounds between the two machine guns. Obviously, braiders only have like 5 rounds a clip, but I make use of it very well. The armor itself, in places, is relatively thick. If you hit just here, it's about 63mm-ish. Very effective for bouncing shots, so that's why if I recommend you go around a corner, present it with the gun facing them on this side. Because then either if they're going to have to aim carefully and shoot here, or to hit here and encounter 64 to 65 moments of armor. The top turret is quite weak. It can be easily overmatched in most situations. The front of the turret is 30mm, but most people are just going to shoot right here. This will take out the commander, sadly, and the commander is the one who operates it. Once that's done, you've just got the driver and the main gun. Now the top turret rotates full 360 degrees. The 37 in the hull only rotates about 15 to 20 degrees left or right. Not the best, but it will do. The top turret though has an unusually high turret traverse. With my current crew I have just under 50 degrees a second, which that's around about 8 seconds, or just under 8 seconds, well roughly about 8 seconds-ish, if you calculate it obviously, to swing this turret around full 360. And this is why I say, try this thing. If you see a plane coming at you, use this top turret. It is very effective. Yes, you won't do a lot of damage because the machine guns will run out of ammunition quickly, but these machine guns actually do surprisingly well. Now let's go into the main gun. So the main gun is a 37mm, and I'll tell you the truth, I didn't really use it all that much. I preferred using the actual main machine guns and trying this thing as an anti-aircraft, which it does very well. However, the main gun does have okay penetration. I mean, it's not the best, but at least it's got explosive filler. Maximum penetration is 38mm, and past 500 meters you'll be looking to kill an AMC 34. But I make use of the vehicle very well. Sadly though, in this replay that I'm going to show you, the tank doesn't survive the match. I had at least 3 enemy stat padders on the enemy team who were stat padding in Crusaders, Hurricanes and things like that, and my tank didn't stand a chance against them. But anyway, I'll go into more about the tank as we go through the replay, and let's see what this thing can do. So the tank itself doesn't maneuver particularly well. That seems to be a common theme with the Italian tanks, other than the AB-41, the AS-42 and the L-333. This wasn't the worst tank I've driven, but it's not the best. But I did enjoy that top turret. That top turret really made it for me. It is a 23 or almost 24-minute battle. Don't worry, I'll fast forward through certain parts. Now originally I wanted to go to G2 spawn, but I forgot to click it. So I thought, alright, I'll stay down here. That's perfectly fine. I do actually have my trusty squad mate, Dark Angel 23. Well, I just refer to him as Dark Angel, it's a lot easier in this battle. And he doesn't have the best game, but he does keep he's an extra pair of eyes for me when he gets eventually knocked out fully in the battle. So at this point I'm dropping Hardy. This packless dirt bargain, as I call it, I have one of those, it's absolutely amazing. It's currently engaged with an M3A1 Stuart. Now of course I can't really penetrate the Stuart, but I'm going to damn well try. Range him, That shot just went a little too high. That shot hit the side armour and obviously at an extreme angle. That one hit the chassis. And for some strange reason, even though the steward clearly sees the dirt wagon, he decides to try and shoot me. The dirt wagon takes him out. I don't get the assist, so didn't do any damage to it. Non-penetrations, obviously. Disappointing start, but never mind. Dark Angel is currently to my right in his L640, and for some reason this AB-41 decided to machine gun me. And he just stops right there. I have no idea why. Dark Angel thought he was a subscriber, I don't know, but clearly he just liked attention. I give him a burst of machine guns, just to say, get out of my way. You're annoying. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. This is where I learned there was actually a B1 Biz nearing E6. Dark Angel moves up to engage him, but the B1 Biz just took his head off. I spot that LVT up there, and unfortunately I can't actually drop artillery up at this point because it's too close to this point. Spot another tank. I think it was a M3 Steward again. There's actually a Zis in the low ground. Thought I could potentially long range the shot over this rock. The optics on this tank are really weird. They have a 16 times zoom, I believe. That shot actually landed quite close to the LVT, but unfortunately didn't actually hit it. The optics are very weird to get used to, but once you get used to them, you can make decent long-range sniping. Right now, my teammates are probably panicking in fear because there is a B1 Biz slowly pushing up. That LVT is still over there. We've got Stug 3 firing on the B1 Biz. My teammates are frantically trying to deal with him. And you just caught a glimpse of the Zis 30 if he was quick enough. He's in the low ground, just approaching my position now. And there he is. Unfortunately, I can't actually shoot through the rock. So I tried to get into position to potentially try and lob the shell over the rocks, but unfortunately I cannot do so. This M1340 decides to sit right behind me when he knows I'm reversing. Originally, I planned to take out this guy with the main gun, but I just thought I could kill his crew members on the back. And he only had 2 crew left, so that's my first kill. Again, at this point, I tried to bring the gun around, but the M1441, deal with the sodding same, takes him out. No matter, we got a kill out of it. At this point, it gets a little quiet because there's not a whole lot that happens on this side. There's a hurricane coming in at the moment. One of the stat buddies. And I'm just going to skip ahead to various points. At this point, this is where I use the top turret. Now, for some strange reason, one of the machine guns goes all the way up, but one of them actually doesn't fire all the way up. So you'll have one bullet going where you want it, and one load of bullets going to a certain degree of elevation. Dark Angel brought in his L333 and just got took out. That's unfortunate. I dropped some artillery. I hear bombs coming in. It's actually a B156. But he misses his bombs. Fire a burst at the hurricane. He climbs a tree. I get the kill for it. And this battle was actually at 11 o'clock at night, and needless to say, no, not everyone was happy about it. And the machine guns. See, look, you can see what I mean here. The left-hand machine gun is actually firing differently to the right machine gun. But whatever. Don't worry, that B156 will be back. Now once again, I am camping, but unfortunately, there's not much I can do. because this tank doesn't particularly do well in long-range engagements. Me and Dark Angel actually had the match before this on the other side where I camped up here and used the gun to decent long-range effectiveness. But when the penetration is this bad, I was only scratching the paintwork of enemy tanks but still providing Dark Angel with some supporting fire. I'm actually having artillery dropped to me at this point. The B156 flies over. And I get hilariously lucky with this geezer. I bring the turrets around, top turret around, fire burst, and I actually pilot snipe him. I was laughing my head off at this point. And it was also around about this moment when I got a very annoyed Facebook message, as you would imagine. It's 11 o'clock at night. But that's my second air kill. So, at this point, it does go a little quiet. So now I'm going to skip ahead, because there's not a lot that happens. I move to a different position, because I'm pretty sure the enemies have worked out where I am. Most of this battle was quite... It felt shorter, but at the same time, it didn't feel like a 10-minute match would. Dark Angel at this point, unfortunately, has been fully taken out of the battle. There's a Sea Gladiator now up. And I do some good anti-aircraft work, fending off the Sea Gladiator from multiple attacks. If I only had more machine gun ammo then, I could have probably had him. At this point, one of the stat patterns in the Crusaders is up there on that ridge. But unfortunately, there's not much I can do to him at this range. He can easily take me out with a 2-pounder. At this point, I decide to technically retreat because there are actually tanks camping us forward. There's a tank destroyer here, and there's a light tank here, which is an A-13. And in typical Allied fashion, well, more of the time it's the German teams that do this. He just rushed right in to try and spawn camp and take out people at B. So he gets a little surprise butt sex for his efforts. I put one right up his backside, take out his engine, tries to swing the turret around, but not today, my friend. Second tank kill. So we've got 4 kills in total so far. I'm pretty happy so far. Of course, this match isn't over yet. Spoiler alert, we do lose this battle. I'm not going to show you the bit in the Falco where I came back after I died in this thing. But I think this replay shows exactly what this tank can do if played right. But the 37 in the hull is very lackluster. Now at this point, we've got a Crusader and a Tetrarch mission there. I decided to take out the Tetrarch first. One shot, 1 kill. There he goes, 3rd kill. Now, I'd love to say that I took out this Crusader, but unfortunately I just couldn't get the range right. I could have had his driver and just kept him there. Unfortunately though, I didn't have the range. Even though this thing has better optics than the Abrams, it is very hard to judge the muzzle velocity. So once again, we're going to skip ahead a little bit. Excuse me. So at this point, all the enemy planes are dealt with. The AS-42 charges in to deal with the Crusader. He takes him out. Unfortunately, another teammate takes him out. And it is around about this point where I spot the AMC-35. And we enter a little long-range duel here. Now, normally, in most situations, his tank would win. His first shot, any second now. That was a non-penetration. He takes out the top turret. And also the commander, so now I've only got the crew members in the actual hull to rely upon. And now I've just got to get his range. Hope I can penetrate him. Got penetration. That was a hit. That took out his gunner. And the second shot goes in. Takes out his turret crew. Kill number 4. 6 kills in total. Sadly though, I was saying to Dark Angel at this point, should I try and push to B to potentially get my crew member back, just in case. But unfortunately, Levinsky 1972, who was stat padding, it was blatantly obvious. He was just waiting for me to do that. Rushed straight back to his original position, just to get a shot at me. And any second now, he takes my head off. There we go. So overall, I do like this tank. But when you get constant up tiers against people like this, who spend their days stat padding in low tiered games, it can be annoying. Overall, the tank is very good. The 37 is a bit crappy, but you've got to make some sacrifices, and the top turret is amazing for anti-aircraft work. If you haven't tried this thing out as an SPA at some point, you haven't played this tank properly, in my opinion. And if you upgrade your crew, you have a very decent turret traverse. The mobility isn't very good, as with most Italian tanks, but it's good enough. So overall, I would say get this tank. It's just, the optics are very, I'm looking for a word here. It's very unusual for a tank like this. You'd normally expect about 4 to 6 times zoom, not 16, as far as I've heard from people. But this tank can work. It's just, when you get players who go out their way to stat pad, it is very annoying. And not only that, I was one of the last 2 tanks alive on my team. Dark Angel was out, Sekka 7 was out, and Cello was out. But you can only do so much, and most people would actually congratulate you for doing well in this regard, in this thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you all on the next one.